what are some of the differences that you see, you know what I'm saying, since being back and making so far, and like just over time, like what's your opinion on, you know what I'm saying, being back home?
I was waiting for this question. I love it. Like, just to see everybody doing something, man, it warms my heart for real. Cause you know, it's so many people I can name. Shout out to Bamley, shout out to Quick Serve, shout out to let's see, Wave Studios, shout out to Shook Society, everybody doing something music wise. Big shout out to 478 TV, and just everybody doing something. I love it.
I mean, what's different to you, and like what's some of the things that you want to highlight as far as like that's different as well?
Like just surroundings.
Yeah, surroundings.
I do feel like things are changing in the neighborhood. I feel like everything is going away. You know what I'm saying? They taking things away from us.
Yeah.
And I feel like we gotta take it back, or we gotta start building back up. You know, that's what I see. But in order to, you know, keep on changing, we gotta progress. You know, I feel like that's the biggest thing. You know, it's a bad thing that they taking away. Like they just leaving us with nothing. And yeah, I feel like we just gotta build, honestly. You know, that's what I see different, and I feel like that has to change.
Real quick, you know, since we, you know, sort on the subject, what are your opinions on, you know, this year, you know, police brutality getting a particular type of attention, you know, because, you know, black men getting killed by the police is nothing new. So what, you know, just kind of get your opinion on that, and you know, where do you feel like we need to go, you know what I'm saying, as a collective, as a community, you know, to make change?
I feel like we have to continue to come together and let people know what's going on, because I feel like, yeah, like you said, it's been going on forever, but you know, we finally just getting to, you know, the whole world knowing that, hey, you know, we getting killed. You know what I'm saying? So continue to let people know what's going on and how other races can help us, or how we can help ourselves, you know, by coming together and do it the right way. And I feel like we have been doing it the right way. And then this is like, at first when, you know, when this first started, when I became of age, I'm not going to say when it first started, but when I became of age to be able to do something, I was so upset and I was so confused, because you know, I was confused with anger, and I didn't know how to go about it, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you know, I am doing something. You know, as an artist, we're all able to do something. You know, we're not all at the protests, we're not, you know, politicians, but I feel like there's something for everybody to do. So if you feel like you're not doing enough, realize that you are capable to do what you can, you know. And as an artist, you can, you know, make pieces, you can make art. You don't have to be in the forefront at the protests. Like, if you scared, it's okay. You know, I've been to protests, and it's definitely something that is totally different, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, you know, I'm having flashbacks to all this stuff, like actual police being out there throwing tear gas and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's not for everybody, and it's definitely not for me, honestly. Like, but to experience in that and realize that, you know, there's people out here, really out here, you know, fighting for us and fighting for this cause, it's like legit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you know this is not for you, try to find a way to make a change.
One thing I think that's important that we do is identify what our black experience is. And I'm no psychologist or nothing like that. It's just me. I'm a thinker. That's all I am, man. Me just bringing that to the table. Like, I feel like a lot of people, you know, they criticize from the outside looking in, and they call us monkeys and thugs and all type of stuff like that. But, you know, it's a different story when we give our first-hand account of what the black experience growing up in America is, and sometimes they rock their world, and I think it's after hearing a lot of it now, having a lot of different media outlets out there now, you seeing it, you see black murder every day and stuff like that. The tone is changing up in the country. Have you ever thought about what your black experience was like growing up in America, and when did you first realize that you were black?
When I became a teenager, and we would go to the movies, and we would just be hanging out, and that's when things would go down, but we would be in there, and I never forget when something happened. Someone went down, and police officer said, when I was like 15 years old, man, and we didn't do nothing. He was like, we'll lock your ass up if we see you again. And that's when I knew it was real. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first ever encounter, with the police. And the second time was when I moved to Atlanta, and they accused me of stealing my own truck, bro.
For real?
Off the school campus.
Yeah.
They interrogated me, talking about we'll lock you up just because my truck got stolen off campus. What I'm supposed to do? What I only had liability insurance, and it's just, that's when I realized that the system was messed up, bro. They come at us in a different way than they would anybody else.
It's a fight, and I feel like we all in it. Especially I'm gonna tell you something else real too. We were talking a little bit off camera. You being out in LA, I know you can identify just being away from home, and me going to college in Delaware. I was in a setting where I was with different people that looked like me, but they didn't have the same experience.
Oh man.
You just talk about that.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I really can't blame them for not having that experience, man. And I feel like that's why it's a blessing to live and make it, man. Because your experience is not. It's you just know. We was never sheltered from anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a few people that was sheltered, but we know what it was at a young age.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see that as I used to get upset as when I was younger and be like, man, these people are privileged, because they didn't go through to see what I done seen. And not to say I done seen everything, but it's just our experiences were different, and not to say my upbringing was bad, but I would kind of get jealous of their experience in life.
Yeah.
I feel like they was more happier, or they don't have any, I don't want to say traumas, but it's just they don't have anything that made them think differently. And it's okay, but take time to listen to somebody else's story, and try to don't even try to understand, but just listen, because it's never, you really can't go back in time to understand and see what somebody has been through. And not to say that anything that I've been through is just bad, but everybody has a different story, and if you don't really understand what people are going through, be that person to allow them to vent to you.
Yeah.
That's a big part, and I'm just not learning that as I become an adult. Because I would keep all of my emotions in and try to just ignore it. But as you get older, you realize that you have to express yourself through words and your emotions, because over time you literally start to you know, it deteriorates your mental, and it affects how you think. You know, so be open to talk to your close friends because they don't know what you've been through. You know, they don't know half of your things. Like, they only know you because you introduce yourself. You only have common interests. You know, but everybody's story is different. Everybody's not perfect. You know, so be an outlet for somebody. And just simply talk to them. Take time to talk to somebody. And that goes back to, you know, the black experience or police brutality. Like, my experience with the police and stuff, it's like I haven't been locked up or been beaten, but even dealing with racism, you know, my first time ever really dealing with racism was back in California, you know, and that's the craziest thing, man, because you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember going into a bike store, because I didn't have a car back then, and, you know, I went to this bike store, get a rack on my bike, because I was going to a warehouse to pick up blank t-shirts.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll never forget, man, this dude, I asked if he could put, you know, install a bike rack for me. And it was a dude in the back. He had said, you know, why don't you let that nigga rig it? And at that moment, I couldn't believe like somebody would say that, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what to do. And that was my first time being called nigga, bro. Like, you know, it's different, right? You expect this stuff to be done with, you know what I'm saying? And I went home and I was like, I didn't understand what happened. And I felt like if I would have tried to do something, you know, they would have tried to kill me. You know, and it's like not everybody experienced those things. And that's my first time ever really like telling that story, because it's just like that's something I always wanted to keep in, you know, because I feel like people won't understand.
You know what's crazy, like, you know, besides like me and you know, being here in this room, like, if we was just, you know, with different people, different ethnicities, they don't even know what that is. You know, they might do to a certain degree, but not all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I know you understand what I mean. But you know, like what I left out earlier was, you know, with us being from the middle Georgia area, you know, and Macon, you know, a lot of things that I came to learn, you know, later, you know, just getting older, removed from the situation, you know, like with 2020 now, we're on our 49th murder. You know, Macon is one of, you know, Georgia is one of the most impoverished states in the country. And Macon is one of the most impoverished communities in the state, you know what I'm saying? We had for like 5-6 years below 50% graduation rate. You know, like you said, a lot of the businesses being taken away. So, you know, our community, you know, a lot of that don't get talked about in 13, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people don't even know that they suffering the way they suffer. Like, you know, it's not highlighted because, you know, when you children, you know, you're not thinking about stuff like that and stuff. So, you know, that's what we come from. That's our reality. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, I know you have classmates who pass and friends and, you know, different people from the community like that. Like that's the normal around here. So, you know, it's just deep. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you know, it's an appreciation too, because, you know, we walk around with, you know, a different kind of armor and different type of determination and a different type of